So when you came to the Bucs, you did at least have a couple things you were already familiar with about the team. One being Mike Evans, going to the same high school as him. What do you remember knowing about him already, hearing about him in high school, and then getting the chance to actually come play here with him?
Shoot, first of all, in Galveston, when you walk in the field house, they have all the NFL players, posters up and jerseys up everywhere. So as a freshman, coming in there and seeing how much people had gone to the NFL from Ball High, it was amazing. And I always just asked who was the last, who was the latest. And it was always Mike, and everybody knows Mike Evans. I don't care if you're in elementary school, if you're an old head, like everybody knows who Mike is because he does so much for the community and comes back every year. And so it was just so inspiring to see somebody of that caliber, that athleticism to play basketball or football, come out of Ball High. It made me feel like I could do whatever I wanted, and as long as I worked hard enough, I could get there.
The other thing you were familiar with, I'm sure, was Ronde Barber, that you and your brother grew up reading his and his brother's books. What do you remember about that, and then learning even that, hey, I'm also going to play for the team that Ronde's whole career was at?
That was like unbelievable, mind-blowing. Our mom used to have us sit in a triangle every night before we went to sleep, and we used to read for 30 minutes. And it got to the point where we'd read a different book every single day. And then until we read Ronde and Tiki's book. Seeing them, identical twins, we didn't see a lot of identical twins. We weren't around a lot when we were young. And so seeing them at a high level, I mean, it made me feel like we could both do it together. It wasn't just one of us that could make it.
And doing it together was such an important thing for you guys. I know it even influenced your college decision, right?
Oh, big time. We wanted to do everything together. Playing football and going through the college experience and that process, we knew that as long as we stuck together, we could build each other up, we could work together and bring out the best in each other.
And even though you guys wanted to do everything together, including football, you did always kind of plan to play different positions. Tell everyone a little bit about how you guys decided what position you ended up playing.
Day one, 9th grade, high school, first day of football, they tell everybody to go out in their positions. I always wanted to play safety. Tristan always wanted to play corner because I was a little taller, he was a little bit quicker. And we went in our lines on day one. I did the entire day at safety. I was feeling great, Tristan was feeling great at corner. Day two comes around and we go to our positions and our coaches are yelling at me, Zyon, get over here, you with the corners, what are you doing? I'm looking around like, is he talking to me? Like, I'm Zyon, I play safety. And they're like, no, get over here. And they had completely got us mixed up. The coaches didn't know, Tristan didn't know, and we were so shy at the time. We were introverted. You know, we didn't want to cause any trouble. We were like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it and see how the punches roll, and everything ended up working. I'm not complaining.
What was it about that time that you remember most, coming in as a rookie from that smaller school, and what was the most challenging about the transition for you? And like I said, the first time you're now not playing alongside your brother.
Yeah, definitely the speed was up. But the hardest thing, honestly, was being able to see the quarterback and the running back over the big O lineman and D lineman. At the FCS level, that's really the biggest difference, is the trenches. And so when I came into the league, these O-line are so big, I can't even see anything behind. But once you pick the speed up and start to get settled, everything was slowing down, but that was the biggest thing.
For you, the transition from year one to year two, what do you remember most about, Coach Ross was saying he expected you to be the most improved guy on the whole team. What do you think led him to say that, and what did it feel like to you out there year one to year two?
I think just him seeing day by day me improve just a little bit more, not make the same mistake twice, and just never panic, really. You know, I know that I have everything that I need inside me, that most of this game is mental. 99% of it is completely mental. So once I was able to slow down mentally and really pick up on the playbook, understand all the different positions on the field, I mean, it felt like I was in the system for 3, 4, 5 years, not just one. And I think he could sense that. Once in the meeting room, I'm answering questions fast, I'm picking up on things easier, and he could kind of feel the trajectory of where we were going.
And you weren't declared a starter last year, but you ended up basically being the starting guy. How do you feel now coming into this year, having that experience and the fact that the team had the confidence to say, that Carlton ended up leaving in free agency and that they felt good about having you here to be that guy?
Yeah, I feel ready. I mean, I feel as comfortable as I did in college. I'm starting to get to the point to where I know how athletic I am, and I know what I can do and how I can use my athleticism to get the best of most people that line up against me. And so just playing to my strengths, now that I have the trust in myself and I have the trust of the coaches and my players around me, I can just let it loose.
Because you are so chill off the field. You're a very nice guy, you know? I feel like I would love to hear, do you trash talk? How are you on the field? Do you flip a switch, or are you this guy no matter what?
I definitely flip a switch just because I just have a tenacity of like, I'm just trying to, inflict pain upon anybody that lines up against me or carries the ball, and sometimes that gets me in trouble going too full speed, but now that I'm getting able to control it, I can really let loose in that aspect. But I treat every game differently, and I treat every opponent differently. There are some guys that they feed off of, you talk trash to them, it hypes them up, it makes them better, so I'll be more silent against those. But if it's a guy who can't control his emotions, then I might say something slick and then run back. So it just depends. I'm very flexible, so I scout more than just the routes and what people show on film.
I feel like with outside corner, there's a lot of stereotypes about the position and maybe the personality it takes to play it, and you don't fit a lot of those. Tell me about the mental side of the position for you. What do you love about it? What are some of the ways that you feel like your personality is suited to it, and ways that maybe you have to work a little bit harder on the mental side?
I was taught at a young age that you can only be yourself. If you try to be somebody else, then you're always gonna do what they do, just a little bit worse. So in any type of situation, football or just in life, I'm always gonna be myself. And that's what got me here, so I really know that as long as I stay doing that, it hasn't not worked for me yet. So I want to be myself to inspire, the younger generation, that they don't have to be the loudest in the room, they don't have to be the most flashy. As long as you're just comfortable with yourself and in your own shoes, then the whole world is yours.